Welcome into Factfinder Investigates. I'm Dylan Doming. We start with our ongoing investigation into the fallout from the ethics complaint filed against Wichita Mayor Lily Wu. Last week, the Ethics Board found the mayor did not violate ethics codes after a complaint by the Wichita Firefighters Union. We now know that both Mayor Wu and Ted Bush, that's the president of the local firefighters union, have filed responses to that complaint. The mayor's filing asking the Ethics Board to further review their findings and add more clarity. It all centers on a complaint filed by Bush against Mayor Wu, claiming that she directed Wichita's fire chief to lay off 42 firefighters by the end of next year. In her response, the mayor said she wants it clarified. She never said that. Mayor Wu is also seeking the full audio recording of Fire Chief Tammy Snow and Bush's conversation about those layoffs. The Ethics Board is reviewing both filings and will likely issue their final report at their next meeting in January. Ford County going up against the plastics industry. It's one of the first lawsuits filed by a county against companies like ExxonMobil. It contends plastic companies and industry groups have been deceptive about plastics being recycled, and it constitutes a public nuisance. Factfinder investigator Sean Logging takes a look at that lawsuit.
Curated in many homes, plastic bottles, jugs, and containers, and much of it ends up in the trash and destined for landfills.
It's never even reached 10%. The recycling rate today is about 5 to 6% for plastic.
Ford County says as a landfill operator, it has standing to sue over what a lawsuit calls a public nuisance of plastic waste. Ford County has filed a lawsuit against nearly a dozen petrochemical businesses and industry groups. The lawsuit says, quote, recycling plastic is neither technically nor economically viable. Petrochemical companies have engaged in fraudulent marketing and public education campaigns designed to mislead the public about the viability of plastic recycling as a solution to plastic waste.
I think what we're seeing is a response to greater growing public awareness of this issue, not only of plastic waste, but of this industry's deception, the big oil and plastic industry's deception about the fact that plastic is recyclable.
The suit cites a number of reports like one released this year by the Center for Climate Integrity, which investigates the fossil fuel industry. Chelsea Lindsley, a co-author.
The production is growing exponentially on the basis of a lie. And in light of all of this production, with recycling not addressing plastic waste, all of this plastic has to go somewhere.
A statement from ExxonMobil in response to the lawsuit says, in part, this lawsuit does nothing to advance solutions to plastic waste and pollution. Instead of filing lawsuits, we invite governments, big and small, to work with us on solutions that recognize the value of plastics and improve recycling rates, which are much too low. ExxonMobil is transparent and meticulous on our product claims, and we have been direct with our consumers about the plastics and products we sell.
And again, that was Sean Logging reporting. The American Chemistry Council, also named in that lawsuit, provided Factfinder with a statement saying that the lawsuit's claims are inaccurate, misleading, and out of date. We did reach out to Ford County for comment on filing the lawsuit, but have not heard back. We're less than 2 weeks out until Christmas. Many of you still may be looking for those last-minute holiday gifts, but if you're shopping online, how do you know if the websites you're on are real or not? Well, the Better Business Bureau has some tips to make sure you know where you're buying your gifts from.
Fake websites have come a very long way since the basic HTML days.
They're known as copycat websites. The logos and layout designs made to look like the large retail sites, such as Amazon and Target, selling items you'd expect to find on there.
Scammers are really good at knowing what is the popular item, what is something that people are after.
A quick way to know if the site you're on is real or not, check that URL. Fake websites will have misspellings, extra letters, or a combination of words that slightly differ than the actual sites. Each year around popular shopping periods, thousands of fake websites are spotted and shut down.
They spend an awful lot of money to appear high in your search results. In a lot of cases, all cases, those spots are purchased.
Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau says these fake websites might pop up on the first page of search results if a buyer is looking for a specific item. Scammers are hoping that you're rushing to buy that holiday gift and overlook the red flags like a fake URL and still purchase an item that's either counterfeit or that may not exist at all, leaving you with less money in your pocket and still without a gift.
We all think the transaction is going to go according to plan. Frequently it doesn't. And in those cases, it's really important to be able to have the ability to get in touch with that company.
And if you're doing holiday shopping on your phone, spotting a fake device or a fake website can be more difficult since the URL is shortened on your device. So here are a few things to keep in mind. Again, double check that URL and make sure it does start with HTTPS. It means it's secure. Check for reviews on the website. And if the return policy seems vague, that's a red flag. And if you are holiday shopping, use your credit card. If you happen to purchase something from one of those fake websites, credit cards often provide better fraud protection than other payment options. Another holiday scam to look out for this time of year. Many of you have been telling us that you received a text that looks like that. It claims to be from the U.S. Postal Service, UPS, or FedEx, telling you that the package you ordered couldn't be delivered because of an incorrect address or misinformation. It also asks to click a link and update your address so that your package can come in. And if you are waiting for a package to be delivered, you might think the text is real, but it's best to not click on that link provided and just ignore those texts. But if you happen to click on it, the scam may download malware to your device, ask you to give out personal information, or tell you to make a payment.
All this is as a ploy is to establish you as a hot lead in the same way that a sales team nurtures relationships. This is an opportunity for a scammer to know that you are willing to engage with your device and are willing to engage with the communication that is unsolicited.
The BBB says clicking on that link or responding to the text or email could lead you to getting more scam messages in the future. So here's some more tips to keep in mind if you do get a message like that. Real delivery companies don't need your personal information like a birthday to deliver a package. Also keep track of when your orders are supposed to arrive. If you're waiting for a package to come in from a place like Amazon, go back to that original website, click on View Order or Track Order to actually know where your package is at. And also, don't use any credit cards when you're doing so.
A single commercial airline employee received tens of thousands of dollars.
It turned out that the individual was getting a percentage of the amount seized.
Airline employees putting innocent passengers on DEA search list. How the whole program was shut down at airports here and across the U.S. because of a national investigation.